Hey guys, welcome to Change Your Life. This is day 8 of my transformation, and I want to talk a little bit about why I behave the way that I do as an adult based on some of the things that happened to me as a child. So, as I had mentioned in previous videos, I really like Dr. Gabor Mate's course on healing trauma. And he's basically saying that all destructive behavior that we do as adults, all addictions and things like that, can be traced back to childhood trauma. And that trauma can be a multitude of things, and it's not what happens to us, but how we process it internally that affects us. So while going through my transformation, I'm trying to be more aware of what triggers my behavior, my destructive behavior. So I have a destructive behavior of drinking alcohol, doing drugs, or eating junk food, things like that. Not drugs so much, but drugs more so when I was a kid, but just destructive behavior like that. Drugs, alcohol. Alcohol is a big one now that I'm an adult, is more alcohol than anything. So, but I've been alcohol-free since February 2nd, and I believe it's February 19th now, or February 20th, and I decided to start my project about a week after I put down the booze and the junk food. Decided to start this project. So anyway, so I was trying to be more aware of why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, why I'm behaving the way that I do. And I was walking home with my dog. It's wintertime here in Montreal, lots of snow. Something happened, that upset me or stressed me out. And I was like, man, it'd be really nice to just, have a good buzz going on right now and just walking down the street in the snow, with some alcohol, in my system. It's like, why, thinking, why would I feel that way? Why would I want to do that? Just because I had some stress of something insignificant that happened or whatever. So I started looking back at my childhood, and, things start coming together, and I start piecing things together, because I remember when I was a kid, my father wasn't there, but my mom took us to church 4 times a week. She was very religious. She used to spank us a lot, or spank me a lot. I don't know about my brother, but she used to spank me a lot, and very hard. And it was just part of the church and part of what you did to children to discipline them. And then as I grew up, I, wanted to escape, going to church 4 times a week. My mom was very restrictive, very intrusive on my life. I didn't have much privacy. I would get so angry at her. I would want to rip my hair out, really. Just because she didn't listen to me or understand me as a child, that I would just want to escape it all, and so how would I do that? I started drinking at an early age. I started smoking marijuana, I think when I was 11 or 12, drinking when I was 11 or 12, and just finding ways to escape the reality and the stress of my life as an 11 and 12-year-old, believe it or not. And, I look back on that now, and it hit me as I was walking down the street. It's like, okay, I am just behaving like an adolescent, like a 10, 11, 12-year-old, like I did, when I was a kid, because the stress comes, and then I want to escape it. I just want to drink and do drugs or whatever to escape, that the stress is, because that's how I dealt with it as a kid. I haven't learned any new skills on how to deal with stress, as an adult. And that's what I'm doing now, at the age of 42. But it's better late than never, that's for sure. But it's just understanding why. Why was that triggering me to want to drink? And so it's good to have that introspection, look back at to why. And as Dr. Gabor Mate says, it all stems back to childhood traumas. And, it can be big or small traumas, whatever it is. And I don't blame my mom for behaving that way. It's not to go back and say, oh, it's her fault. It's not her fault. And she could say, well, it was my parents' fault. Well, it's not her parents' fault. It's not my grandparents' fault. This is intergenerational trauma that just gets passed down and passed down. And I'm breaking the link so I don't pass it down to my son. My son is 8 years old now. I hope I haven't done too much damage. But I'm not passing that down to him. If I were to continue to deal with stress that way and continue to drink or do drugs or eat junk food and all this stuff, my son is picking that up. He's been picking that up. And I've started steering the boat over the last few weeks away from that. Thank God. But I can see how, your thoughts get transmitted to your children, your behaviors, your actions, they all get transmitted to your children, and your children end up doing the same things that you do, more times than not. So I'm breaking that link, and I know you can break that link too, and we can do it together. But I just wanted you to think about why, as you're going through your day, whatever you're trying to start doing or quit doing or change in your life, You know, when you have those knee-jerk reactions to things and it makes you want to do that destructive behavior, think why? Why am I wanting to do this? What is it that just happened? What just happened before that craving came or before that thought came into my head? What just happened, and how can I associate that with things that happened to me in my life? That way we have an understanding of why, and we can be compassionate towards ourselves in the past and in the present, not blame ourselves for our actions and our past behavior, but understand why we behave that way. And the healing can begin to start, behaving in a different way and handling these situations differently for the future. So I hope this helps, and I will talk to you on day 9 tomorrow.